Hey, thanks for stopping by. My name's Carlos, and welcome to the Cinema Crew. Today, I wanted to go over my setup for my X100VI, and that includes my EDC, or Everyday Carry camera bag, which, if you've watched my previous video, you know is the FjallRaven Kanken Mini, which is one of the perfect sizes for the X100VI. It's super compact, just like the camera, and it's not intrusive. And also, truthfully, it looks kind of aesthetic. Now inside, I've paired it with the Tenba BYOB 7-inch. It's also a pretty perfect mini insert or bag itself if that's how you wanted to use it. I like the Kanken Mini because it is somewhat water resistant. I'm not going to say it's fully waterproof because they do make a rain cover for it, but it won't get your stuff wet pretty much. The Tenba, on the other hand, isn't made necessarily that same kind of material, but it fits perfectly, not including this. I'll get into this in a bit, but when it's just the camera and some other accessories, maybe like a battery, an air tag, just put an air tag or something that can track your equipment in any bag that you have where you spend maybe upwards of $1,000 on something. I think it's just being a good steward of your stuff. But anyways, the X100VI fits perfectly inside here, and here is the X100VI. As you can see, I picked up the black colorway, and there's a couple different accessories on here, all of which I feel do have somewhat of a purpose, besides also making it look good. Starting with the leather case, I did tons of research on different cages and grips that you could get for this camera. I was so close to rigging it out like my cinema camera, but I wanted something that looked a little less intimidating. This leather case, I honestly love. It has a small grip. It makes it super easy to hold the camera. I have the Peak Design straps and the wrist strap over here. I have the Lensmate thumb grip on here, as well as a soft shutter release from that brand. And I also have the SquareHood Mark III plus adapter ring on here, and the Fuji FRS filter, or PRF. It's one of those two. But regardless, I like to take care of my stuff, and that means protecting vital parts of the camera. The bottom is literally always touching something, whether you place it down or you even just have it in your hand. It rubs against stuff in the paint, or even just the compartment for the battery door. You don't want to mess around with that too much, so get something that covers that. Same with the lens hood. Like, it looks good. It also does block the sun, but truthfully, it protects the camera as well. You have a lens hood that can also block physical damage, which is always a plus. I love it. Maybe I just fell in love with how this boxy lens hood looks, but it's not for everyone. I totally get that. It is for me though. The Lensmate thumb grip, it's totally, for versatility. It flips and you can access the dials and all that stuff. I looked for so long in the menus if I could switch this front dial for this back dial and switch them around just so I could, and I'm not talking about the command dials. I'm talking about when I'm flipping through recipes or just the menu system. I wanted to just use this one so that I didn't always have to flip this thumb grip up, and it really could just be held with one hand, but I wasn't able to figure that out. I don't think that's ever been something anyone's ever thought of, maybe. And so I assume it can be done eventually, or if maybe in a software update they did that, but it's honestly not the biggest deal. That's why Lensmate made this thumb grip like that, so that you could flip it up anyways. But that does require, in my opinion, two hands, unless you have bigger hands or have a better way of gripping your camera. I don't necessarily feel as good just adjusting things like that, but it still can be done. And truthfully, this, I didn't want to mention it first because that's literally what everyone does when they talk about accessories for this camera. But this camera is meant to be just this chill camera that you can put around your neck or you have on your wrist, whatever. This screen doesn't fold, or it doesn't have anything that protects it. This is just a bare screen, and that is asking for scratches. It's horrible. And so obviously install a screen protector. If you wanted to go one step further, there's even screen protectors for the optical viewfinder. There's also screen protectors for the eyepiece area. You want to surround your gear with quality stuff, or at the very least I do. I like knowing that when I look at my stuff, I'm not necessarily thinking, I could have got the other one that I really wanted. These are the things that I really wanted. This is the camera I really wanted, and I just wanted to share how I set my X100VI up and all my gear. Oh, and so I said I would talk about it later. In here is the SquareHood X100 glass haze filter, which I got originally. I do enjoy using it. It's fun. I'll go in depth in a better review. Between the two lens hoods, I tend to rock the Mark III. I just like how things naturally look. If I wanted to have haze, I can install that filter and put it on. But there's pros and cons to both lens hoods. This one doesn't fit any lens caps for some reason, and that one does. That one fits the OEM lens cap, and that's amazing to me. I really enjoyed that feature, and I'll be using it here and then, but to me, in my opinion, it's not a forever filter for myself. And that pretty much concludes this short little video of my X100VI setup. This is my everyday carry at the moment. I've been taking this with me everywhere I go, snapping pictures here and there, and learning what I like and what I don't like about certain situations. And so as I mature, I hope that you guys choose to stay along and watch the journey. And so please like and subscribe, comment if you have anything you want to say. I've been Carlos. That's showbiz, baby.